Hey guys, I'm back after a nice and restful vacation and feeling pretty good. Ready to dive into some patch 6 content. There is a good chunk of new dialogue available in patch 6, not so much in full new scenes, but in choices for dialogue. Granted, I have been playing a pretty tight game, just bringing Gale and Astarion along for the ride, so if there are new things with the other companions, well, I haven't seen them yet. One of the things that really struck me though is that the bite night was taken out and now you just sit in the bedroll while the audio plays out. This is a scene we've had in the game for quite a while now, and while it definitely has seen some backpedaling over the past couple iterations, where he doesn't really line up with Tav when he bites, it's never been just completely gone. But the reason why it was removed soon became clear when I noticed a new option. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
No. It's not what it looks like. I wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
There, in dim firelight, you see him for what...
No, there's no need for that.
Mistra, have mercy. What happened here?
Wow, that escalated quickly. I was interested to see that Gale had a dialogue after the death too. Let's take a look at that as well.
Not every day one discovers one's traveling companion is a vampire. Wit light fangs, that much I knew he had. Actual ones I did not suspect. I suppose it's for the best you settled the matter permanently. Good thing you didn't think it through then. The undead tend to be temperamental creatures. Had you allowed him to live, we might all have woken one day with a sudden bloodlust. Still, an intriguing chap, wasn't he? I dare say we'll miss him.
I was pretty disappointed that he was so casual about Astarion's death. I mean, he said a nice thing at the very end about missing him, but like, dude, I just killed him, and you're all like, whatever, he was cool, we'll miss him I guess. I even tried to res him with the skeleton dude, but the option was not there at all, so this is a permanent death. The res scroll wouldn't even work, and you're just left with Astarion's bloodied and lifeless corpse splayed across his bedroll. All you can really do is loot him. Wait, why does he have a big zucchini in his pocket? I don't recall that. Maybe he was taking tips from Jareth. I digress. When I first played this through, I didn't choose any of the stake options, and yet at every opportunity they offer you a stake option. Seriously, they just keep asking. Even after you've decided to let him drink your blood, there are just more stake options. Even to stake him while he drinks your blood.
Sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches. Your pulse quickens. He doesn't finish the thought. It slides away as the light fades from his eyes.
That whole line is awful where the narrator says, but the thought is cut off as the light fades from his eyes. Where is the monster at Larian that came up with this? I mean, it's one thing to stake him, but it's another thing entirely to stake him after you've already said he could drink from you. That's some cold shit right there. I feel dirty for even picking the option at all. Do you see the awful things I have to do just to explore all the outcomes of new content for you guys? I hope you appreciate it. And why is it that his dialogue seems to reflect you picking up a stake? Which, here's another thing, how the heck would Tav even have a stake? But even if you don't pick it up in the first option, all the options act as though you did later on. And what's even more ridiculous is how many options they give you to do it. Like, they want you to stake him. Even after you've gotten past the bite and he's disengaged from Tav, there is another option to get him while his guard is down.
My mind is finally clear. I feel strong. I feel happy.
This is some messed up crap right here. I don't know what kind of game they're playing, but it feels like someone who doesn't like Astarion got tasked with writing dialogue for Astarion. I could see adding the option for people who hate vampires, but at the same time, you don't have to recruit him. If you hate him that much as a player, just don't bring him aboard. Why the need for such manipulative and shitty dialogue options? Am I overreacting here? Do I have Astarion-colored goggles on? Are there people out there who were actually happy about these over-the-top additions? I mean, I think it's cool to put the option in there once, but just over and over and over, it feels like I'm being pressured to stake him at that point, and I don't understand why, considering my dad never even picked up a dang stake to begin with. I'm just glad I didn't have to actually see his face. Can you even imagine how awful that look of betrayal would have been? I'm telling you guys, when this scene actually goes live, if they keep it, I don't know that I'm actually ever going to pick it. You might just have to go watch it on someone else's channel because I don't think my heart could handle it. This is bad enough. And what's worse is how nobody seems to really care. I'd be curious to know what other party members say about his death. I'll have to check in another game sometime, but it really makes me feel like a shitty person that I just killed this guy I've been traveling with and nobody cares. I guess it fits with an evil game, but still, I don't really like the feeling that it's pushed so hard on me. I also found myself really curious about what would happen if I failed to stake him. It seemed every single time I was successful at my rolls though, so I had to keep reloading until I actually failed to find out.
You wretch!
I tell you what, it wasn't really worth the 20 or so times I had to reload just to get a failed roll. With advantage, it's almost impossible. The dialogue with Gale afterwards was also slightly different as it changed from killing him to showing him the proverbial door, as he said. One thing I did like that was added to the scene was this one line. I'll play it now even though it's short.
Let's make ourselves comfortable, shall we?
Let's get more comfortable, huh? Yes, please, let's. Funny how out of everything else added to the scene, the thing I care most about is spooning with Astarion before he bites me. And I can't help but think, why, if you guys were going to mess with the scene and add new dialogue, did you not make this a sexier scene instead of a messed up murdery scene? Do you guys need some writing advice? Because I'm available, and I'm pretty sure I know what a lot of people would like to see. I can't say that every scene with Astarion won't turn into a smutty adventure, but hey, we could definitely throw some other stuff in there too, like scenes where we got to know each other better, and then we get to Baldur's Gate and we could kick Cazador's ass. Then Astarion could become a vampire and we could beg him to make us his spawn. I could think of way worse things in the BG3 life than having to call Astarion master. I mean, of course I just pretend, because with the tadpole thing I wouldn't be compelled to. Okay, this is going down one of those simp rabbit holes. I should probably stop now before I get too deep. So, seriously, what do you guys think? Was this whole staking business taken too far? Let's get some good feedback together here. I'm really hoping that they come back to the scene and make it feel like my Tav isn't a backstabbing creep who just wants to murder her companions. It's just hard not to get annoyed when someone who is supposed to be neutral keeps trying to get me to murder my Astarion. And speaking of Astarion, check out this painting I'm working on. I got this shot from the hand mirror scene and was just completely smitten with his expression. It still needs more work, as this is just a work in progress, but it's almost done. And if you like seeing this sort of thing, as well as reading my original romance stories and getting extra content as a whole from me, then go take a look at my Patreon. It has all of these things and can also julienne fries. Wait, no, it can't do that, sorry. But it does really help to support the continued creation of my free content, and I appreciate it so much, just like I appreciate all of these awesome people. Thanks a lot for being there. I've also been planning to start doing some smutty art stuff soon, as people in my disco have inspired me with their constant sharing of NSFW art in my channel. I was like, I really have to try my hand at this. With my painting style, it's definitely going to be a difficult transition if I don't want it to take me 3 years to complete something. But if I can simplify it a bit, it could be some really nice side art for my stories, as well as some Tav and Astarion action, which, I won't be able to resist. Also, I've got something really fun planned for next week. It has nothing to do with patch 6, but I think a lot of my Dragon Age fans will absolutely lose it. In a good way. I've decided I've waited long enough to do it, and since there will never be an optimal break, I'm just gonna do it. I bet you're dying to know what it's going to be, but you'll just have to wait to find out. Anyway, I'm going to get going now to get some work done. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.